We are getting set for the first semifinal in the U18-19 U.S. Soccer Development Academy Championships, and it features the number 1 seed FC Dallas taking on the number 20 seed St. Louis FC. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm your host, Mark Serber, and it's a pleasure to be with you this day as we are coming to you live from beautiful Orange County Great Park in Irvine, California for the U18-19 Final Four. As the winner of this one will move on to face the winner of semifinal number 2 later this afternoon between NYCFC and Sockers FC. But for now, it is all about FC Dallas and St. Louis FC as we are getting set for kickoff. FC Dallas steamrolled through Group D before dispatching of Michigan Wolves 2-0 in the quarterfinals. Will force St. Louis FC. They won Group A with a record of 2-1-0 and then had a rousing 3-1 win over Sporting Kansas City in the quarterfinals. They are looking for their third MLS scalp in this tournament on their way to the final, as they have already taken care of the New England Revolution in group play and Sporting Kansas City in the quarterfinals. But this is an FC Dallas side that comes in the number 1 seed and is unbeaten in their last 22 games. Have to go 21-0-1 and on a 17-game winning streak. Their last tie was November 30th versus the Montreal Impact at the Winter Showcase. Their last losses were October 20th and October 21st in a trip out to Colorado for matches against the Colorado Rapids and Real Colorado, and they have been on the charge ever since. This FC Dallas side, where some of these players are hoping to make it to their third final during their time in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. These are two teams that are similar in which they have teams in USL for St. Louis FC, the USL Championship, in which 6 of the players are on academy contracts, have trained with that first team, and some of them have even gone on to play in matches or have gone on to be on the game day roster. Well, for FC Dallas, many of these players, 6 of them in fact, have played in USL League One with North Texas SC. And so these are players with professional experience. This occasion won't overawe them, as it is St. Louis FC and they're all blue kits with white trim and white numbering who are getting set to get us underway. Standing over the ball is Jeremiah Collins. St. Louis FC will be attacking from left to right across your screen. And it is Jeremiah Collins who gets it back to Vlastos, and we are underway. The only change to tell you about from that quarterfinal victory over Sporting KC is that Lucas Hummel returns from red card suspension, and he replaces Kristen Malinich. Otherwise, it is the same starting formation for Louis Swisher's side. And this will be a throw-in for Kyle Genenbacher out of Farmington, Missouri. He's an 03 playing with the 2000s and 2001s. Genenbacher has started every game in these playoffs as he gets it in to Danny Collins. A good ball fist across, but it will go all the way through and out for a throw-in for FC Dallas on the far side. Redmond battling for it on the far side. Allows St. Louis to win it back. Danny Collins chasing. Burns slips. And the referee says it's because Collins pushed him, so it'll be a get-out-of-jail free card for FC Dallas, as they will have the free kick early on. It's FC Dallas looking to build out of the back. Comes in for Hosa. He'll slip it inside. Alma Guerre down the line looking for the run of Bustamante. And Miller comes across to intervene, and he will get it back to his keeper, Schulte. Schulte under pressure from Gomes, sprays it out to the far side. Redmond battling for it, but it's won by Bonilla. Danny Collins is there. He ushers it up the line. Vlastos is chasing. Burns on the far side. In for Gomes. Slides it across Alma Guerre. A good sliding challenge from Jensen Miller. And now it's Hummel looking to take off. And he wins the free kick. Good advantage played by the referee, as he was pulled back but was able to beat that defender. But once the ball was swept off his foot, Amin Hadzic, the center referee out of Georgia, pulled it back for the free kick for St. Louis FC. So this is going to be left off for Kip Keller. And he's going to play it short for Mayer. Mayer, who's off to the University of Indiana, gets it out wide for Redmond. This is Keller. And Keller has made the game day 18 in the USL Championship for St. Louis FC. So this comes back to Jensen Miller. A lovely ball just over the head of Redmond. Did well to climb the ladder to get it, but it skipped across his head and goes out of bounds for a goal kick. This is an FC Dallas side that has scored 102 goals in 28 games coming into this one, including 12 in the playoffs. Their 90 goals in the regular season was the best in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. And this ball forward for Gomes to chase. And Schulte's clearance. Redmond trying to get underneath it. Eludes the challenge of Bonilla. Settles it up the wing for Danny Collins, who's unable to bring it under control. It'll be a throw-in for FC Dallas on the far side. Bustamante. Inside for Tessman. Over the top for Hosa venturing forward. Bustamante comes in support. Tessman gets it in the pocket. Looking to run. This is Redzic, and that is a tremendous sliding challenge in the box. And this will be another free kick for St. Louis FC for the late sliding challenge. And the referee is going to have a quick word with Gibbon Rayo. Hosa. Fuentes. Colo playing well out of his goal. I love that he offers that extra number in the defense for FC Dallas to build out of the back, and now they look to go over the top. It's Redzic who's chasing. Able to hold off the challenge of Lawson, gets it out wide. Ball pumped back in. It's beyond Rayo and skips past Bustamante, who slipped. Stepping in is Fuentes as he wins it off of Hummel. Hosa able to keep it in bounds. Slides inside for Bustamante, unable to turn, but he wins it back. Bustamante works his way into the box. Him and Gomes are battling for it, but Miller's able to come away with it, and he leaves it off for Keller. Good patience and decision-making from Keller, and a little touch off from Nishi Vlastos. And the ball comes out wide for Redmond. Long searching ball over the top, and Colo, playing about 10 yards out of his goal, will pop this one back into midfield. Good talk from Schulte, letting Kip Keller know that Jensen Miller was open. And he uses him as the relief valve. And now it's St. Louis's turn to build their attack. Mayer slides it out wide for Redmond. Inside for Collins, but played behind him as he slips. And Judson Burns will get it back to his keeper. Michael Colo committed to Colombia. Smart ball inside for Alma Guerre. Rayo. Gibbon Rayo, who's played 5 games in USL League One with North Texas SC, who is currently first in League One in the USL. And this one for Vlastos to chase, but Burns is there. Colo gets it inside. Great job by Alma Guerre to come back into that pocket and find the release ball. The pass picked off by Collins. Looking to go the other way. Has 2 players going forward, including Velastos, but getting there first is Tessman. It's good tracking back from the midfielder, but it will be a throw-in for St. Louis FC. Inside for Vlastos.
That's a light hat, huh? Super light.
Drilled right to Fejo Sabatic. He has a go, but drags his shot wide. And it will be a goal kick for Colonia. Fejo Sabatic up from the 16-17s. Such a smart player for St. Louis FC. Against the New England Revolution, he almost scored from half field when he picked up the ball, picked his head up, and realized the goalkeeper was off his line. Keller. What I love about the St. Louis FC side is their communication. Letting players know when there's somebody on their back shoulder, letting them know when they have time or they have to play at one touch. It is a St. Louis FC side that is full of quality and technical skill, but they also have the ability to grind you down. It is a team that never stops running, that is always organized, and always seems to find a way through. Hummel was red carded in the 90th minute after showing his second yellow in the final group game against the New York Red Bull. Had to sit out that quarterfinal against Sporting Kansas City. Kristen Malinich came in and did a tremendous job in his place. But Hummel's such an important part of this team, returning back to the starting lineup today after his suspension was over. Killed instantly on the chest by Hosa. Elects to take the inside route. Beautifully weighted ball to the far side for Hitch. He brings it down. Wants to run at Redmond. And his cross is cut off. Tessman's there to pick up the pieces. Well, Tessman has nobody to go back to and support. Now is able to find Alma Guerre. Back out wide, looking to set the table once again. This comes across for Hosa. U17 international, little touch out wide for Bustamante. Bustamante working on Sabatic. Able to get it across. Alma Guerre! Just over the crossbar, but good patient build-up from FC Dallas. Poking and prodding and finally finding a way through. But the shot fizzing over the crossbar. First real opportunity of this game, and it goes to the #1 seed. Hosa. Judson Burns. And now space to work down the far side. In for Gomes. Return ball looking for Bonilla, but Redmond is there. Safety first from him, and it will be a throw-in for FC Dallas. Gomes was unable to leave it off for Hitch. Alma Guerre battling, too tactile for the referee's liking, as Danny Collins wins a free kick for St. Louis FC. FC Dallas's U16-17 girls are also in the semifinals. In fact, 3 teams from that area in Texas in the semifinals at that age group. Those will be played tomorrow and can be seen right here on U.S. Soccer. Redmond wants options. In the end, goes back with it for Mayer. Slides it across for Miller. Gomes hounding him. Hosa wins the header. Hummel seizes it in midfield. Works his way to the top of the box. Pokes it out wide for Vlastos. Bonilla guarding him. Vlastos looking to get to the end line. Now cuts back. Oh, I thought he had a chance to get in across. Instead gets the end line. Now puts it across. But Colodi's there. Good goalkeeping from Colonia. I love goalkeepers that quickly get to the top of their box, look for the outlet ball to see if they can spring a counter, and then if it's not on, hold on to the ball and wait for their team to get into shape. Bustamante. Guerre. Rayo gets it back for Burns. 17-year-old committed to play his college ball at Clemson, tries to play it forward. Tanner Tessman out of Birmingham, Alabama. Flights it to the far side. Bustamante brings it down. As Hosa on the outside if he wants him. Bustamante. Oh, he's brought down by Jeremiah Collins, who stuck a foot in. It'll be a free kick, and this is from shooting position for FC Dallas. Of course, far enough away that they could elect to try and find the head of a player in and around the top of the 6. And I was watching some of these FC Dallas players take free kicks in warm-up, and they were devastating. Tessman is over it, as is Joel Bustamante. Both of them look poised to hit it on their right. 4 men in the wall for Schulte. It's Bustamante! Skips off the top of the crossbar. Another warning shot fired from FC Dallas, this time from the dead ball. But it remains 0-0 in Irvine in the first semifinal here at the U18 19 level. Bustamante's pressure paying off. Guerre assessing his options. Hosa to set the table. And Schulte read that all the way. And Schulte pushing everybody up. He throws out for Redmond. Lawson Redmond, committed to Indiana, gets it back for Mayer. He'll play this one over the top, was looking for the run of Lastos. Instead, Burns will get it back to his keeper. Colo clips it to the near side, looking for Hosa. Helps it on to Bustamante. He's met right away by Miller. St. Louis FC give you absolutely no time on the ball. And Bustamante wins this free kick.
It did. No longer. Yeah. Touch it in the box.
Tessman. And FC Dallas will hit the reset button. Burns looking for options forward. Drives it. Bustamante was trying to help it on for Hosa. Headed away by Genenbacher. Fuentes over for his center back partner, Jeremiah Collins, who never stops running. Chased it all the way from one center back to the other, and you'll see him do that in the 93rd minute. He has scored 2 goals on the cusp of stoppage time to ice games in these playoffs so far.
Good idea.
And those were just 2 of his 4 goals throughout the group stage and quarterfinals for Jeremiah Collins. But it's his willingness to hustle and battle to the very final whistle that often undoes teams.
Oh yeah, how powerful. Is that why you
Burns with the header. Hosa.
He did it for me one time.
Genenbacher watching him, so Hosa will give it back to Colo.
I mean, I don't know, but I think it's because I was wearing
Redmond. He uses the safety valve in his keeper. Schulte clears it right to the feet of Hosa. Little ball inside for Alma Guerre, who finds Redmond in the pocket, running right at the back line. Redmond onto his left foot, and the shot always rising. But a great job of Redmond checking off that defensive line into the pocket of space and receiving the ball with time to turn and run at them. Just unable to keep his shot down in the end as he was falling back a bit. Header won by Genenbacher and out of bounds by Alma Guerre. So Genenbacher will have the throw-in as Jeremiah Collins and Hummel on the line. Instead, he goes back with it to Keller. Pottage wanted in the pocket. That was quickly collapsed by Redmond. So instead, the ball goes back to Mayer, who gets it to the far side for Lawson. Lawson Redmond. Long searching ball looking for Hummel, who slipped as Hosa gets it away. Tessman. The number 10 has played 10 games for North Texas SC in USL League One. Bustamante pings it over to the far side for Bonilla. He's looking to make a rear four-way forward. He's blocked off by Redmond, and it will be a free kick for FC Dallas. So it's Tessman who's coming to stand over the dead ball. Looks like he's going to want to swing this one over with the right. Redmond is also there. So Tessman leaves the scene, and now it's Redmond and Bonilla who stands over it. So it's Benny Redmond who will take it. U17 international looking toward the back post. It was just over the head of one of his attackers, and it was headed away by Genenbacher.
No para comandar. No turn. Good chance.
Miller shielding off Gomes and winning a free kick.
Let's go. Hey, watch your mouth. Let's play. Watch your mouth. I'll take care of that, yeah?
Gomes providing the pressure. He's hardly had a sniff of the ball today, Gomes, as it's Redmond who strides forward. Ball driven into the channel, looking for Bustamante. Looking to track it down out wide. Is able to catch up to it. As Rayo in support of Bustamante looking to go at it alone. Was unable to pick out Rayo. Genenbacher. Inside for Nishi Vlastos. Danny Collins. Slips it in for Collins. Genenbacher unable to catch up to it. So it'll be a throw-in for FC Dallas. But a good build-up from St. Louis FC through the midfield. You can see that Velastos has changed positions with Hummel. So now Velastos on this near side, Hummel on the far. As Pottage drags it over for Redmond. Back from Mayer. Never afraid to go back and build again if nothing's on going forward for St. Louis. They need a bit more movement up front. Now they begin to get it as Collins and Hummel check in. Ball comes to Hummel, gets it back. Mayer out wide. Too far for Pottage. Burns. Inside for Rayo. Finds the feet of Gomes. Looking to run. The DA's second leading scorer works his way to the byline. Poked out by Miller, but it'll be the first corner kick of the game, and it goes the way of the MLS side. Well, Johan Gonzales was the leading scorer of the U16-17s last season, the second this season, with 28 goals in 26 games coming into this contest. And seeing St. Louis cut off the supply lines to him so far today in the majority of this first half, but finally able to get the ball at his feet, get a run to the defenders, and he wins a corner kick. This is out for Rayo. Into the box. And swept only as far as Alma Guerre. Tessman. Bonilla on the overlap. It allows FC Dallas to combine inside. It's Gomes! Pushed around the post by Schulte. Out saves like that, you understand why Patrick Schulte has been called into a U18 national team camp. Was the hero for the first team in the second round of the U.S. Open Cup against the Des Moines Menace when he had 3 saves in the penalty shootout to help St. Louis FC move on in what's been a historic U.S. Open Cup run for them. Is Bonilla coming up to take this throw-in for FC Dallas. Collins. Danny Collins holds his run well. And the through ball looking for him. Gets there before Colonia. Has the open net. Sliding across to save the goal for FC Dallas is Julian Hosa. Well, Colonia is going to think twice now about playing so far off his line. This time, Danny Collins able to get in and block the clearance. Took just a bit too much time, was looking for the perfect touch, and Hosa was able to close him down. The first corner kick for St. Louis is a good one. That will be a free kick for FC Dallas. Good news is that Burns looks to be all right. Wasn't happy with the challenge, though. Lets the referee know about it. So, a big sigh of relief for Michael Colonia and FC Dallas. So close to going down 1-0. Genenbacher wins the header. And Fuentes cleared this one off of Danny Collins. Now, just behind the assistant referee is the FC Dallas U16-17 women, who will be playing in their semifinal tomorrow. Their U15s won the title last year. This will be a goal kick for FC Dallas. St. Louis FC looking to get to their first Academy Championship game. Well, FC Dallas won it at what was then the U15-16 level in 2015 and 2016. Well, their U17-18s won it in 2011, 2012, and the 2015-2016 seasons. And of course, there was the famous 2015-2016 year when FC Dallas won it at both the U15-16 and U17-18 age groups. Of course, we have now changed to U16-17 and U18-19 and have added the U15 age group, which was won this year by Toronto FC over LAFC. Picked off by Danny Collins. Gets a little touch off from Velastos. Fires! Just wide of the post. And it took a touch on the way, and it was an important touch from Tessman. Otherwise, it would be 1-0. But Danny Collins is getting closer and closer and closer. The second corner kick of the game for St. Louis FC. Velastos working on Alma Guerre, able to get it to the back post. Burns does just enough to put off Miller. He's looking to shield. The two center backs are battling. And Burns doesn't allow the cross. It skips by him, though. Mayer to the top of the box. Velastos steps past one, tries to get inside another. Still looking to bulldoze his way through, but is crowded out in the end at the top of the box. The ball over the top, looking to spring Redzic. Working against Genenbacher, steps inside. Keller getting back. Space for Rayo. Quickly closed down by Hummel. Gomes coming in support. Instead, it comes back to Tessman. Tessman lifts it in, and the header from Bustamante hit off of his arm, so it'll be a free kick rather than a goal kick for St. Louis. Well, these teams able to turn defense into attack so quickly. One moment it looks like they're beleaguered on the back foot, and the next thing you know, they're creating a dangerous scoring chance at the other end. So Schulte will take this free kick. It is still 0-0 between the number 1 seed FC Dallas and the number 20 seed St. Louis FC. Referee playing advantage. Out wide for Bustamante. Looking to run. Skips inside. Still going Bustamante. Has it poked away from him by Sabatic. Collins spins away and leaves it off for Keller. Danny Collins shaping out wide. Jeremiah Collins finds him. Keller continued his run. Colo quickly off his line. I love the way Colo plays. And that's a late challenge from Mayer. So free kick quickly taken for Chris Hayden inside. Bonilla has Bustamante on the overlap. Instead, inside for Gomes. Spins, splits two. Gomes is able to get the shot off. Well, the STL players and fans not happy that Gomes slid into Schulte. In the end, it will be a goal kick for Schulte in St. Louis. Velastos' header. Tessman backed off so that he could get the flick on, but he hit it with his hand, so it's going to be a free kick for St. Louis. Miller looking for Genenbacher. Hosa gets a foot in. Gomes. Schulte gets there first. And Schulte getting everybody into their position before rolling it out for Miller. Collins. Genenbacher. Lovely cushion header down from Danny Collins, looking for Genenbacher, who wins the throw-in. This is Kyle Genenbacher. Playing 3 to 4 years up, Kyle Genenbacher. In for Keller. Over for Pottage. He'll leave it off for Redmond, venturing down the far side. Velastos. Pottage. Nothing forward, so St. Louis will go back with it. Collins being instructed to turn. Genenbacher alone out wide. Has a chance to measure in this cross. It was a delightful ball in, cleared away by Fuentes. Only as far as Pottage. He steps up to hit it, and Rayo gets the block. Loose ball bounces to the feet of Redmond, who gets back for Miller. And now Miller can step into the opposing half. Genenbacher is open. Instead it comes in for Danny Collins. Smart ball back for Keller. Drives it over to the far side. That is a gorgeous ball from the captain for Velastos, who's unable to get by Bonilla. This is Bonilla, who slid it through the legs of Collins. But Pottage with the sliding challenge to win the ball back for STL. Keller. Oh, it was the right idea, looking to thread it through. Hummel cut off in the end. Tessman. As Pottage came flying in. The question is Pottage going to face further punishment? That is Pottage's first challenge, but it was a heavy one, and a lot of them have been flying in midfield, so it's going to be the first yellow card of the game. And it goes to Svejo Pottage of St. Louis. Left on for Tessman. Fuentes. Tessman met by Pottage. Slid through for Hummels. Gets there first, but Coloni's out to make the save. Danny Collins battling. Top of the box for Pottage. FC Dallas come away with it. Now can they build an attack? Forward for Rezic. Well, that's a great first touch to rescue it. But over is Genenbacher to win it for St. Louis. As they have done an excellent job today of not allowing FC Dallas to have the majority of possession on the ball. Rezic. Hosa to the back post. Just beyond Bustamante. But the high pressure paying off for FC Dallas, as they won it and look to attack quickly. In the end, it'll be a goal kick for St. Louis. But those are the moments that FC Dallas thrive off of. St. Louis so far has done an excellent job of being crisp and clean with their passes and not allowing that to happen. But all it takes is one loose touch. They get away with it this time, though, and it is a goal kick for Patrick Schulte. Almost first ball. Genenbacher second ball. Flicked on. Finally bought down by Rezic after a bit of head tennis. Skips by one challenge. Unable to slide by another, as it was Genenbacher working back. Hosa looking to make it to his third finals in this development academy. Bustamante. Closed down by Miller in the end. And Tessman gets it up the line for Bonilla. Back for Tessman. Gomes is popped up in the pocket. He has a rip. Well, it had Schulte concerned, but it will be a goal kick for him. What a quick release from Gomes. That's the second time today. He stayed on the back shoulder of the defender, waited for him to lose him, and then checked back into the pocket of space, got it turned and fired. Both times just off target from Johan Gonzales. That's a really smart angled header from Fuentes. Redmond. Genenbacher watching him. This has been a fun individual battle to watch on the near side. Redmond gets a step, but couldn't get the ball into the box before it had gone over the end line for a goal kick. Genenbacher may not have gotten the ball there, but he watched him and matched him step for step and forced him out of bounds before he could pull that ball back. Excellent defending once again from Genenbacher, as he lets this one go for Velastos. Read by Tessman. Bonilla saunters forward. Out wide for Bustamante. Gomes checks in. Bustamante elects to go down the flank. Bustamante cuts it back, top of the box. Rayo first time. Wasn't a bad effort. Well, they've created opportunities around the top of the box, FC Dallas, but need to test Patrick Schulte in the STL goal. Genenbacher with the first header. Lucas Hummels. As Hosa doing the defensive work once again. Gomes turns and slid away by Joey Mayer. Just like his left outside back, Lawson Redmond will play his college ball at Indiana. So second ball in the field. So we'll have a quick break before somebody comes over to play it out. Hosa, who won the U15-16 title in 2016 and then lost it in 2016-2017 when FC Dallas were looking for their third straight U15-16 title, but lost to Atlanta United. It's Bonilla. Gomes. Bonilla's continued his run, finds it at the top of the box, was trying to smuggle it through, is able to get it off. Rayo's shot deflected, and it will go out for a corner kick.
Focus now, look. One.
Haz más pintas, güey. Eso es muy predecible, haz más pintas.
5 players make their runs into the box. It's a good ball, allowed to bounce. Tessman wanted to hit it. St. Louis not out of the woods yet. Alma, Guerre, Rayo. Slid inside for Tessman. Tessman steps into it, but rolls his shot right down the goalkeeper's alley. The quick outlet looking for Hummel. Picked off by Hosa. Bustamante has popped up on this near side. Redmond. Just behind Gomes. Still might work out for FC Dallas. As Fuentes tried to spin, he goes down. Nothing doing, says the referee. And with the center back down at the top of the box, a chance for St. Louis to go forward, but they sportingly nodded out of bounds. Very well done from Danny Collins. Tip of the cap to him and the St. Louis FC bench that I'm sure said something about it. Hosa. Redmond is all alone. Hosa played it too close to the defender as it is slid away by Jensen Miller. And now Jeremiah Collins off and running. Turns on the afterburners. Hosa trying to catch up to him. Collins gets the cross off and Colo smothers it. But that is where Jeremiah Collins. Bustamante. Lovely ball with the outside of his foot into the path of Gomes. He's trying to get inside of Miller. Rolls it over for Redmond. He's looking to run at Redmond. Redmond still going, cut inside where he was met by the covering defender. This is Danny Collins. It's being watched by Bonilla. Back for Redmond. Steps inside of the pressure and leaves it off for Velastos, who's dispossessed. Hosa. Bit of a heavy touch from Alma, but he's able to rescue the situation. Over for Bustamante. It's a good spell of possession from FC Dallas. But can they turn it into something threatening? First few touches, just to catch their breath. And try and move the defense from side to side. Bustamante. Genenbacher, such a good one-on-one defender. And what a touch from Jeremiah Collins. And now he rolls it inside. And unable to squeeze it through, was looking for the run of Hummel. As this time it's Danny Collins with the challenge on Tessman. And Tessman has been on the end of a few of those challenges from St. Louis in the midfield. Starting to get a bit frustrated. Space for Fuentes. Bustamante recovers well. Gomes was unable to drag it along with him. Driven over to the far side. Bonilla's cross, headed away by Miller. So Bonilla waiting for movement. Now he gets it from Tessman. Back to Rayo. Hosa wants it at his feet. Hosa is measuring up a shot. Instead pokes it on. And a good hit from Bustamante, but well positioned with Schulte. And he will take all 6 seconds. Halftime in Irvine of semifinal number 1, and it is 0-0 between FC Dallas and St. Louis FC. Chances created at both ends, but both goalkeepers have held on strong. And we are tied going into the break. Step aside here, but we'll be back with you for the final 45 minutes and possibly more here on U.S. Soccer. At the break, FC Dallas 0, St. Louis FC 0. All set for the second half between FC Dallas and St. Louis FC. A reminder that if we are tied at the end of 90 minutes, we will go to extra time and even penalties if needed. But for now, one of these sides will look to take the victory and march on to Wednesday's final in regulation, as it is FC Dallas to get us underway. The number 1 seed, 102 goals so far this season for the best offense in the Development Academy, has been not only kept at bay, but put on their heels at times by the St. Louis FC side. Colo playing well out of his goal again. Absolutely love this style, as it's Bonilla who steps inside. Bustamante into the channel. Hosa back for Bustamante. He'll leave it off for Tessman. Flights it over to the near side. Killed instantly by Kevin Bonilla. Now Bonilla's looking to run at Redmond. Slides it over to the top of the box. And the shot is blocked. Oh, what a block by Marin. He's able to get up and continue to defend, as it is cleared out for a corner kick by Lawson Redmond. And Mayer, even though he was in pain, did such a great job to stay up and continue to defend, and then only double over after the ball had gone out. I think that perfectly epitomizes everything that is great about the St. Louis FC side right there in that play by Joey Mayer. Fourth corner kick of the game for FC Dallas. The short option is on, as Hitch is there waiting for a touch. Also trying to drift over is Rayo. Instead, Bustamante will drive this across the face of goal. Tessman onto his left foot and pushed to safety by Schulte. It looked destined for the far corner, but Schulte was not to be denied. Another big save and another great save from Patrick Schulte. This time it is short. Hitch lifted over for him. Pottage got a foot in. Redmond got the clearance. And Hummel will be whistled for the foul. Colo picking up the loose box and tried to slide it through. Now Jeremiah Collins, 3-on-3 the other way if they can hurry. Danny Collins will try to play it over the top to Hummel, but mishit it. And Colo brings it down at the top of his box and calls for calm. And you see him pointing out wide, wants the two center backs to get wide so he can feed them the ball. Velastos playing high, forcing the punt. And what a perfectly distributed ball that was off the sideways foot of Michael Colo. Gomes, nifty turn. Gomes! Miller got a touch, and it will be another corner kick. Third of the half, sixth of the game for FC Dallas. But that turn from Gomes is so menacing. As once again, Benny Hitch comes over to provide the short option. Bustamante taking his time. And the runs in the box were a bit premature from Johan Gonzales, who will have to come back toward the penalty spot. As it is played short. Inside for Gomes. And skied clear by Pottage. Hitch. Rayo. Alma Guerre. Bonilla is trying to sneak up. Bonilla gets around Redmond, but he did it by using his hands, so it'll be a free kick for St. Louis. Well, Patrick Schulte, who's committed to St. Louis University, will take this free kick. Collins' touch is intercepted. Bonilla. Inside for Alma Guerre. You had back in the early 80s and 90s the likes of Colombia's goalkeeper and then Jorge Campos from Mexico, but it wasn't really, well, we'll get to that in a second. Tessman. Tessman! FC Dallas have the lead. Half yard of space was all he needed. And Tanner Tessman buries his 7th goal of the season. Judson Burns pointed back to Michael Colo, who gave him a thumbs up. It was the goalkeeper who started it by coming 25 yards out of his goal to get the ball and begin the attack for FC Dallas. But it was Tanner Tessman who banged it home. That's Tessman's 3rd goal of the playoffs, his 2nd in as many games. And it's FC Dallas who are in the ascendancy early in the 2nd half. Now it looks like somebody's going to get a talking to. I believe it's Fuentes. The referee telling Chris Fuentes no more. Lastos plays in the free kick. Miller just didn't get enough purchase on the shot. Yes, St. Louis FC is down, but they are certainly by no means out. Almost found the instant reply. Came back in their quarterfinal after going down 1-0 to Sporting Kansas City. But they're on the back end at the moment as Miller shields this out for a goal kick. Getting back to what I was saying, you had the likes of Rene Higuita, who loved to come out and play the ball for Colombia in the late 80s, early 90s. And then Jorge Campos, who very much did the same. But it wasn't really until Bayern Munich and the likes of Oliver Kahn, and they're now #1 goalkeeper as well, that the new modern kind of sweeper keeper and keeper in possession really became an important part of the modern game and building out of the back. Goal scorer Tessman. Bonilla. Hito Hosa's continued his run. Has Bustamante at the far post. Redmond does just enough. Gomes and Pottage gets back to cut out the pass that was looking for Redmond. It's still going Pottage. Gomes picks his pocket. Pottage brings him down. And it will be a goal kick for St. Louis. Well, the other name that inexplicably escaped me was Manuel Neuer, was the Bayern Munich keeper I was trying to bring up. I see a lot of him in Michael Colo and the way he plays. It's a heavy challenge behind the play. Advantage played by the referee. We'll see if he brings it back later on. He looks back to check on the injured player. Sees Miller shielded out of bounds for a goal kick. And referee looks back over, sees that everyone is okay. So just a goal kick for Schulte. No talking to for anybody in a blue jersey. FC Dallas with the 1-0 lead in this semifinal off a strike from Tanner Tessman. The majority of FC Dallas's chances were coming right at the top of the box, and that's where Tessman struck from. Hammering his shot into the goal corner. And at the moment, it is FC Dallas who have their noses in front, looking to make their way to Wednesday's final, where they will look to take on the winner of semifinal number 2 in NYCFC or Soccer's FC. And of course, the storyline there is it's NYCFC looking to repeat as U18-19 champions in just their second year of having an academy team at that age group. Guerre bundled over by Kip Keller. And so it's Hosa who will come and get the ball and leave it off for Guerre, who joined FC Dallas back in 2011. There's so many of these FC Dallas players. This has been, for some of them, their only club. And Kevin Bonilla, the right back on this near side for FC Dallas, joined all the way back in 2010. As Guerre wins the challenge, but it's Keller who wins the throw-in. Danny Collins looking for the flick on. Falls kindly for Burns. Sensed the pressure, so he played it instead of trying to leave it off for Colo. And now it's Bustamante at a leisurely pace. Tessman. Hosa gets the return ball in the channel, plays it across, and Schulte plucks it out of the air. Header won by Jeremiah Collins. And Bonilla guides it back to his keeper. And Colo drives it out on the far side. Not sure whether he thought Hosa would be back there or not. It's Danny Collins. Hint of a foul throw, perhaps. And play goes on. Tremendous defending by Fuentes. Redmond. Pottage intercepts. One back by Rayo. Now picks it up as he gets around Mayer. Met by Redmond. And fires into the netting behind the goal. Well, you could see the gears turning in his head. Bustamante first was looking up, realized he didn't have the counterattack on, so slowed it down, then thought that he wanted to go at the defender, and he did. I think caught him between two minds as to whether that was the right place to shoot. Collins. I swear, he covers every blade of grass in every game he plays on within the lines. As now he's in the far corner. Picked off by Gomes. DA's second leading scorer leaves it off for Guerre, who gets it back. Inside for Bustamante. Tessman has another go, but unable to catch Schulte unawares at his near post. Redmond coming forward. Collins. Pottage. Keller. Jeremiah Collins looking for Genenbacher. Takes it off the feet of Fuentes, but a bit too heavy on the touch. And so it'll be a throw-in on the far side for FC Dallas. And you can see St. Louis squeezing up and try to win the ball deep off this throw-in and keep the ball in FC Dallas's half. Nobody backing up in a St. Louis jersey. 6 players in the vicinity of the throw-in, and it's Danny Collins to try and pin them in. But Colonia able to get it over to the near side for Bonilla. Eats up the grass in front of him. Leaves it off for Gomes. It's being watched by the captain, Keller. Lovely ball with the outside of his foot to get it off for Bustamante. Plays the overlap for Hosa. Can't get by Miller. Now Keller has room to come forward. And he wins the free kick. That is a really silly yellow card for Rayo to take. And now he has to be careful for the rest of the game. Absolutely no reason to try and slow the play down there. Understand what he's doing, but he has plenty of cover behind him. Needs to understand that situation. Maybe if it's the last minute of the game and they have 5 players forward and you only have 2 back, then you do that. Nevertheless, Gibran Rayo becomes the first FC Dallas player to go into the referee's book this afternoon as a change is made with Gomes coming off. I believe that he's being replaced by Malik Henry Scott. Have confirmation of that for you in a second. It's Pottage for St. Louis. And it is, in fact, Malik Henry Scott on for his 13th appearance of the season. Has come off the bench in all 5 championship games now for FC Dallas, Malik Henry Scott. And this is his first involvement. Looking for Bustamante. Miller gets there first. Velastos. Miller. Schulte. And Bonilla steps inside of Hummel. Velastos showed too much of it to Hosa. And now FC Dallas looking to attack. Out wide for Bustamante. Unable to catch up to it. So it'll be a goal kick for St. Louis. Keller. Miller. Bought down by Danny Collins. Good reverse ball for Jeremiah Collins. Flag stays down. 2 players making their way in the box. It's behind Hummel. And it's easy pickings for Colonia in the end. Beautiful distribution once again from Colonia. Hosa will step on the ball and get it off to the goal scorer, Tessman. Pinged over to the near side for Redmond. Velvet touch to bring it down. Has Bonilla on the overlap. Bonilla can't get the cross beyond Redmond. And it will be another corner kick for FC Dallas. Good defending by Lawson Redmond, not allowing Bonilla to get that cross in behind him. Cut off that corridor of uncertainty, but it is another corner kick for St. Louis to have to deal with. Well, FC Dallas has to be careful as behind the play, Danny Collins is standing all alone just outside the center circle. Hosa saw that and gets back to him. Schulte is a boss in his area, looking to spring the counterattack. Quick distribution. Inside for Hummel. And FC Dallas able to get numbers around the ball and win it back. Colodi's ball, seeking Bustamante. Redmond got the header. And another player's down behind the play. So Redmond is being stretched out very sportingly by Bustamante. Well, Judson Burns is down for FC Dallas. And the referee calling on the training staff. It's really sporting, though, from Bustamante to come over and check and make sure that Redmond was okay, and then to help stretch him out. Bustamante, really interesting career path the 18-year-old has taken. Born in Barcelona, Spain, lived in San Diego, and played in Mexico for Querétaro's academy before joining FC Dallas this season. And what an addition he has been to this U18-19 side. And so two players being looked at, Redmond for St. Louis and Judson Burns for FC Dallas. As we have a break in play here in the second half, FC Dallas with a 1-0 lead. Well, the good news is that both players are up and walking under their own power, albeit very gingerly. The question is, will Burns need to be substituted? FC Dallas do have Nathan Toledo on the bench, who has been called into camp with both the U.S. and Argentine youth national teams. So Toledo would be a like-for-like replacement that definitely you wouldn't see the level drop at all for FC Dallas. You talk about these players being called into national team camps, and there are players on both sides, but for FC Dallas, their academy has had over 60 players called into youth national team camps for the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and other countries as well. Guatemala and Argentina too, for this academy, which has produced 26 homegrown players, with the most recent signing being Ricardo Pepi. That happening during the playoffs in Oceanside. We'll be ready to go for Wednesday, whether it be in the final or the third place match. Toledo on for his 25th appearance of the season for FC Dallas. And the good news for St. Louis is that Lawson Redmond is back on as well. Keller. Kippy Keller for Lawson Redmond. Steps inside of Henry Scott and gets it back for Keller. Oh, lovely ball. Looking for Genenbacher on the far side. Hosa policing him. Genenbacher forced to circle back with it. Leaves it off for Hummel. Has it poked away from him, but Danny Collins is on it. Hummel almost came away with it. Toledo's first touch is an important one. Redmond will drag his shot wide of Colodi's goal. Ooh, what a bad giveaway. Vlastos looking to take advantage. Vlastos! Oh, he'll want that one back, Vlastos. Wrong side of the post. But you love the high pressure from St. Louis and the turnover that it forced. Vlastos just unable to apply the finishing touch. I love the shouts from these St. Louis players. Don't worry about it. You'll get the next one. You'll get the next one. It's coming. It's Bustamante. FC Dallas just escaped for the second time today. Advantage played by the referee. Bustamante flying into the box and cleared away by Mayer before Henry Scott could get on the end of it. Alma Guerre gets it back. Fuentes' pass is picked off. And the referee lets play go on, much to the chagrin of Kippy Keller. Bonilla floats it across. And what a backheader that was from Gettenbacher. He was on the wrong side of Bustamante, but was still able to get in and not only get the header to get it away from Bustamante, but place it right into the arms of his keeper, which has started this attack for Jeremiah Collins. Jeremiah Collins first to every single ball. Keller, little layoff for Gettenbacher. He started this play at the other end. Can he finish it? Leaves it off. Vlastos' shot is charged down. Keller space at the top of the box. Pottage wants it. Instead, it's taken by Keller. And Bonilla able to clear it away for Malik Henry Scott. And he smartly leaves it off out wide for Bustamante. Well, FC Dallas are only attacking with 2 at the moment. And it allows Mayer to get the ball back to his keeper. Correction, that was Miller. This is Mayer. And he finds Miller. I'll get it one of these days. Over to the near side for Redmond. Space is really starting to open up. Redmond trying to take advantage, but it was quickly closed down by Rayo. And he got the ball, but the ref says came in from behind and got too much of Redmond. He's got to be careful, too, because he's on a yellow card. Collins beginning to pick up some steam. Danny Collins played it behind Vlastos. Redzic. Bustamante. Rayo. They do so well of playing out of pressure, FC Dallas. Bustamante hassling, hounding, forcing Vlastos back with it. And Mayer will have, and then the foul on Rayo. And now FC Dallas preparing fresh legs. It's going to be a double substitution for the MLS side, and we'll see who comes off. I would think one of them has to be Rayo, considering that he's on a yellow card. He's also limping as well, Rayo. And so Hosa is going to come off. And I believe Rayo is the other one who has now been told to pick up the pace. And so he comes off as well. So on for FC Dallas. A straight swap at outside back as on comes Kevin Kim for his 12th appearance of the season. was a member of the U16 team that lost in the finals to Atlanta United in extra time in 2016, Kim. He's able to get forward, but you have the feeling he's going to have to stay at home to help see out this victory for FC Dallas. It's a beautiful reverse ball to Bustamante. He has a go. Almost picked out the far corner. Good cutback onto that right foot from Bustamante. Trying to see who that other sub was. And it was Luis Hernandez who came in. So 2 like-for-like changes for Chris Hayden, Academy Director, and Jose Vera, the coaches of this U18-19 side for FC Dallas. It's Redmond trying to find his way in the channel. And he drags down Bonilla. And now it's St. Louis's turn to make a double change. And so Lawson is going to come out. Believe we'll have to see which players are coming out and which players are just going over to get water. So Lawson is out, as is Hummel. And coming on is Miles Sofanavong, who made an instant impact when he came on in the quarterfinals against Sporting Kansas City and played a part in the goals that were scored. So Sofanavong is on, as is Christian Malonich. So Malonich, another player who was really big in playing his part in that quarterfinal victory against Sporting Kansas City as a starter after appearing as a sub in every other game. And this is his first touch as he goes into a battle with Bonilla. And coming away with it is Pottage as he's brought down by Redzic, and it'll be a free kick for St. Louis. So we are late in this one, and FC Dallas have a 1-0 lead. St. Louis FC looking to get back on level pegging. Jeremiah Collins. That one rolled beyond Keller. It's Sabatic too tactile for the referee's liking. Alma Guerre for FC Dallas. Over the top, looking for Hernandez. Schulte out to quell the danger. And quickly looking to spring the counterattack for Collins, but over to intervene is Nathan Toledo. Tessman sprays it to the far side. Kim looking to get forward for the first time this afternoon since coming on to replace Hosa. Instead, Bustamante plays it to the far side, where it is headed back by Malonich for Schulte. Bustamante. Redmond screaming for the ball on the far side. Instead, it's Henry Scott who tried to play it across, shouts for handball, and the referee points to the spot. FC Dallas with a chance to pad their lead from 12 yards out. And it's Redzic who's over it. It's Malik Henry Scott who won the penalty by looking up and trying to cross it for Redzic. And Tanner Tessman came and took the ball away from Redzic and said, I want this one. I want my brace. So Schulte has already saved 3 penalties in a shootout at the professional level. Now has to save one for his U18-19 side to keep St. Louis FC in this semifinal. Tessman already buried one into the corner from 10 yards further behind. This time, he passes it into the net, and FC Dallas have one foot firmly into the final. Well, after conceding the first goal, St. Louis FC almost scored right away. Toledo hit it off of a player on its way out, so it's going to be a throw-in for FC Dallas. Now Danny Collins getting a talking to from the referee as it came off of his foot from Toledo's clearance. So this will be a throw-in on the far side for FC Dallas, just in front of the St. Louis bench. One back by Collins. The overlap for Danny Collins. Looking into the middle, trying to find Jeremiah Collins. This is Ungh, and his shot is blocked. Away by Bonilla. Over the head of Malik Henry Scott. Bought down by Hernandez. Pop to the far side for Bustamante. What a touch to bring it down. In for Alma Guerre. Has two to find in the center. Alma Guerre picks his head up. Kim is screaming for it. Instead, it goes to the top of the box where it's intercepted. Keller. Jeremiah Collins. It's 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Danny Collins. Ungh is in the box. Keller is in there as well. Keller brings it down. Ungh trying to leave it off and sliding to get it away was Kevin Bonilla. It's a corner kick for St. Louis FC. Can they pull one back and set up a nervy finale? All but one field player is up for this corner kick as it comes across. Colo takes it right off the head of Kippy Keller. The referee coming in and telling Colo to hurry up with it. Doesn't want to see any stalling tactics. Colo has been spot on with his distribution all game long. It's FC Dallas, who ended the regular season tied with the fourth best defense in the Development Academy, are looking for their 12th clean sheet of the season to close out the semifinal and move on to the final. And now the space is really opening up as this game is getting stretched. Rezic unable to take advantage. It looks like he's cramping up behind the play. So now it's Rezic who's being stretched out by Malik Henry Scott. Played his part in the second goal, the second half stub. Malik Henry Scott came off the bench to great effect. It was his cross that hit off the arm of the St. Louis defender. That led to the penalty that Rezic, who is down right now, wanted to take. And Tessman came up and took the ball from him. In the end, no one will mind as long as it goes into the net. So the question is, will Rezic be able to continue? Meanwhile, more time will be added on at the end of this one for St. Louis FC, whose pro team is currently 10th and in the final playoff spots in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. What a job Louis Switcher has done with this St. Louis side. What a season they have had. Their tenacity and their grit combined with their skill and their quality. Love the way they play with a four-man, almost like a box in midfield that not only clogs up the middle, but gives them overloads in midfield as well, and then opens up the flanks for their outside backs to attack. And they've played that formation to perfection throughout these playoffs. They are looking for a goal here to give them hope. Benny Redzic has been allowed back on by the referee, and we are back to 11v11. There's 2 fall for Christian Malonic. And now another substitution to be made by St. Louis, as it's Mayer who's going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Carter Reese, making his 21st appearance in his first season in the DA, Reese. It is a forward coming on for a center back, as St. Louis FC have no other option but to go for broke. Malonic stepping in to win it back. Collins to the line. Collins winning the... Driven in. Colo missed it and cleared off the line. Miller so close to pulling one back. That is why you have a player stationed at the back post on corner kicks. 5th corner kick of the game for St. Louis FC. Jeremiah Collins. Nishi Vlastos. Lovely back heel, back to Collins. It's a good ball across. Miller's header, and it's cleared off the line again at that back post. Collins miscues his shot. Sofanovong slips. Redzic is in alone, but way out of his goal is Schulte to send it back into the attack. Headed down, looking for Danny Collins, and sent clear by 2-goal hero, Tanner Tessman. Keller has Malonic shaping out on this near side. Instead, plays it back to where the pressure's coming from. Schulte gets it into the middle. Keller, unable to get by Kim, but it's a free kick as Kim was whistled for the foul. Now the ball comes out to Kalinic. Christian Malonic. Sabatic. Savanavong. Lovely ball rolled into the feet of Nishi Vlastos. He clips it toward the back post. Sabatic is up. Over him. He goes down. Referee says nothing doing, and it'll be a goal kick for FC Dallas as the referee checks his watch. FC Dallas on the verge of being the first team into the final. Sockers and NYCFC will face off at 3:30 Pacific. Still time for St. Louis FC to get back in. This is a team you can never count out, and they continue to pour forward. But FC Dallas has repelled everything thrown at them. Sabatic into the space, flicked on by Jeremiah Collins, and flying in to clear away is Fuentes. Meanwhile, there's a player down behind the play, so the referee's going to stop it. As these kids have given everything here today. Really young men, I should say. My apologies. Not only in their ages, not only in the way they play, but also in their maturity and how they approach this game and their commitment to it. St. Louis, you have players like Miles Sofanovong, who drives 4 hours to practice from Washington, Illinois. You have Danny Collins, who comes 3 hours to training all the way from Springfield, Illinois. You have players who've given everything for the cause, both on and off the field. And sportingly given back by St. Louis FC. Colo. Really upset with himself that he played it out of bounds. Goalkeepers that don't hold themselves to such a high standard would say anywhere will do. But such is the level that these players hold themselves to. Sofanavong. Christian Malinich to the byline. Corner kick. Corner drilled in low, skips all the way through. Pottage helps it on. Just missing the far post was Miller. Well, they've had their chances today, St. Louis. That one dragged just wide. 2 shots cleared off the line at Colonia's back post. Colonia was beaten in the first half when he came out of his box to try and get on the end of a long ball over the top. But that shot was also blocked. Keller has Vlastos ahead of him and Genenbacher out wide. But it went out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Kevin Kim and FC Dallas on the far side. FC Dallas looking to have a team in the final for the 4th time in 5 years. Danny Collins into the space, but the offside flag is up. Referee has another look at his watch. Toledo smashes it forward. I beg your pardon, Colonia. Schulte out of his goal to head it away from Bustamante. Kim plays it quickly to Bustamante. They realize they have numbers, FC Dallas. Bustamante wants to finish this one off rather than go to the corner. And now Schulte has a chance to get them forward. Booming punt. And Toledo heads it right off of Danny Collins. And Colonia is quickest to the loose ball. And this time, anywhere will do, and he doesn't mind that it goes out of bounds. For the 4th time in 5 years, FC Dallas have a team in the final as they win 2-0 over St. Louis FC. Both goals coming in the second half from Tanner Tessman, one at the top of the box and the other from the penalty spot. What a tremendous match this was, and what a run by St. Louis FC, who have had an incredible season. Understand that they're upset, but they should not hang their heads for the effort and the way that they played this season. Tremendous team, tremendous campaign by them, but it is FC Dallas who marches on to Wednesday's final. So that will do it for us, but a reminder that coming up at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, it is semifinal number 2 here at the U18-19 level, and it is between NYCFC and Sockers FC. The winner of that one will face this winner in FC Dallas in Wednesday's final. So for now, from Orange County Great Park, I'm Mark Serber saying so long where it finishes. FC Dallas 2, St. Louis FC 0. The number 1 seed marches on to the final.